Wondering if you have what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur? That is what we're going to talk about today. Hi there, I'm Louisa Joe, and at this point I have helped well over 1,000 students build their own online businesses and go from employee to entrepreneur. Today I'm going to share with you the top 4 traits I see that differentiate the people who are able to successfully build their own businesses versus those who are not. Trait number 1 that successful soon-to-be entrepreneurs share is that they think differently. Now, what do I mean by that? What I see for a lot of new entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs is that they get started wondering, will I be able to do this? What if I can't? What if I fail? And what is that going to look like? Now, don't get me wrong. When I see someone who I know is going to most likely be successful, they still have their fears and doubts. However, they understand that having fears and doubts is just part of the process, and that if so many other people have been able to build their own businesses and do what they want to do, then there's no reason why they themselves shouldn't be able to succeed. And so they start their journey facing and working alongside their fears and doubts and asking, how will I make this work for me, instead of will this work for me? Trait number 2 that differentiates soon-to-be successful entrepreneurs versus aspiring entrepreneurs who might never succeed is that successful entrepreneurs show up consistently even when they don't feel like it. It reminds me of that Stephen King quote. I believe it's amateurs wait for inspiration and the professionals show up regardless. I might be butchering that quote a little bit, but you get the idea. Professionals, soon to be actual successful entrepreneurs, know that you don't wait for inspiration. You don't wait for motivation. You show up whether or not you feel like it. That's how you get to where you want to be. And so they approach building their businesses from day one like a job, where you know how it goes in your job. You wake up when your alarm goes off. Whether or not you feel like it, often probably not, you do what you need to do to get ready and you get yourself to work. It's the same thing. You show up every single day and it's non-negotiable. Successful entrepreneurs approach their businesses in the same way. Every day, even if they only have 5, 10, 15 minutes a day outside of their work and their lives to work on their businesses, they do it. And they do it if they feel unmotivated, if they don't feel inspired, if they feel like things are just going too slowly, and nothing holds them back from showing up consistently, because it is their job. Approaching it with that attitude from day one, thinking about it like a professional, is how you get to be an actual full-time entrepreneur. Trait number 3 is that they are fast action takers. And what that means is, again, successful entrepreneurs, even when they're starting out, they absolutely have fears and doubts themselves. They're not superhuman. However, they take action despite those fears and doubts, and they do not get in their own heads. So let me give you an example. In my private students only group for my Employee to Entrepreneur course, I will see new students show up and ask questions about, okay, here's what I'm thinking, or I'm in this lesson of the course, should I be doing this, or this? And sometimes other students will give them feedback. Sometimes I jump right in and I give feedback. And whoever gives feedback, it's often the result of, hey, do this, this, and this. The most likely to be successful entrepreneurs, within 24 hours maybe, they've come back and said, hey guys, giving you an update, I went off and did it. I talked, for example, if I say go and talk to 3 people who might be potential clients, 24, 48 hours later, maybe a week later, but within a short amount of time, they've come back and said, you know what, I actually went and talked to 10 people, and guess what? I got my first client using the exact strategies you share in your course. Whereas people who might take a little bit longer to get there, or maybe who aren't going to see their entrepreneurial dreams through, come back a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and say, you know what? I still haven't gotten to it. Life got in the way. I just got in my own head, and I don't know if anyone really is going to want this, right? And it's excuse after excuse. And I'm not saying that some excuses are not valid, but the difference is the attitude. Entrepreneurs, soon to be successful entrepreneurs, they make things happen and they take action quickly despite their excuses. Again, they're not superhuman. They have the same fears and doubts as well. However, they take action despite them, whereas people who might not be so successful allow their fears and doubts and excuses to keep them stuck. That brings me to trait number 4, which is that successful entrepreneurs, or soon-to-be entrepreneurs, look backwards, not forwards. And so that might sound a little bit counterintuitive. You might be wondering, Louisa, what are you talking about? And what I mean by that is this reminds me of a very powerful story. And I didn't come up with this story. I heard it from a friend of mine, I don't even know how many years ago. And the story goes like this. 2 guys are climbing up a mountain together, right? So they climb and they get halfway up the mountain. And at this point, they're tired, they take a quick break, and one guy looks up to the top of the mountain to see where they want to go to. And it's a big mountain, and they've come a long way, but they still have so much further to go. And so the guy says, oh my gosh, we've already done so much, but there's so much left. I don't have it in me. I just am completely overwhelmed. And he turns around and he leaves, and he does not make it to the top of the mountain. That's looking forwards, right? Trying to figure out how much further you have to go, because the truth is building a business is massively overwhelming, and to be honest, the journey never ends. When you get to one milestone, there's the next one waiting for you. You get your first client, guess what? You're gonna now work towards getting your second one and your third. You make your first $5,000. Now it's your next $5,000, your next $10,000. You hit 6 figures, it's your next 6 figures. There's no end, it's a journey. And so that's why the second guy climbing the mountain, he does something different. He looks backwards at how far they have come. And he's like, whoa, oh my gosh. You know, I knew we'd come a long way, but just a while ago, we were at the base of that mountain, and I can't even see the base of the mountain now. And I've come further than I really even thought would be possible, and it's actually happened a lot faster than I might have thought. He feels motivated and excited by how far he has come, so he takes his rest, he puts his gear back on, and he continues climbing. And that is the attitude that successful entrepreneurs have. They know that it's an ongoing process. It's literally a lifelong process to continue building your business, and you're going to continue growing and, of course, getting great results along the way. However, if you are looking forward and thinking, I'm not there yet, or comparing to other people who are further ahead than you don't know anyone else's journey. They've probably been doing this for a lot longer than you. And you feel discouraged and motivated and overwhelmed and are wondering, why am I not there yet? Why am I not going as fast as so-and-so? Why do I not have the audience or the results as so-and-so? And you're playing that comparison game, or even playing that with yourself, where you're thinking, oh my gosh, I have so much further to go. I have an endless to-do list. I'm never going to get there. Versus if you're looking back and saying, oh my gosh, you know what? I wrote 1 post more than I had yesterday. I now have 10 more people in my audience than I had a week ago. I now have my first client, and that is way more than I ever thought I could have. Or I had my second and my third client, and whoa, this is so cool. If you think about it that way and look backwards like that, every step of the way, what's going to happen is that you're going to become motivated, even more inspired. You're going to realize, all right, this takes work. Yeah, of course it does. You're building a business, but I can do it. I've done so much already. I've come further than I thought, most likely faster than I would have thought. And I can keep on doing this. And so with that attitude, guess what happens? you grow and you grow and you build that momentum to continue growing your business. And so this is where it starts, because to be honest, over the past 5-6 years, helping well over 1,000 students, and in my audience connecting and teaching and helping over 100,000 people, I have seen this over and over. You can find the right strategies, you can find the right mentors, and yes, those are absolutely important. And if you're here, you're in a great place for those two things. However, if you approach it with the wrong mindset, right? The wrong way of thinking, you're constantly comparing, you're wondering if this is going to work for me, will it work for me? You're not taking the action, you're letting your fears and doubts hold you back. It doesn't matter how good the advice that you get is. It doesn't matter how good your mentor or your coach is, right? Because you're gonna get in your own head. So it starts here, and I really hope that you think through these 4 traits and use them to reframe the way that you are thinking, so that you can be one of those people who ultimately succeeds in building the business that you want. Now, once you've got that reframe and you're ready to actually get started or get your first or next paying client, I've got 2 other really great videos for you. One is a quick and awesome tutorial on how to start your own online coaching business in the next 24 hours. And you are going to love that, so I'm going to share that somewhere on the screen and in the description below. And also, I've got another one for you on 4 really creative ways to get your first paying clients. It is epic. I chose 4 of the most creative ways I've seen my well over 1,000 students over the last few years use to get clients and get great clients and do so quickly. And I share that with you again in another awesome YouTube tutorial that I will share on the screen and or in the description below. Finally, I've got a great workbook for you on how to build your own online 6-figure coaching business with my Escape Velocity plan. That's a PDF that you can sign up for. And again, you know the drill by now. I will either share it somewhere on this screen and or in the description below. So that is it for today. If you have found this helpful, go ahead and click subscribe to make sure you get notified every week when I release a new video on how to build your own online business. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time.